Let's go to the top 10, Dave. Top 10. Let's jump into it. Top 10. Starting off at number 10, we got Jamal Crawford of the Minnesota Timberwolves. At number 9, we got my boy T.J. Warren, criminally underrated from the Phoenix Suns.
Maybe.
Number 8, we got Tyler Johnson of the Miami Heat. Number 7, we got Enes Kanter of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Number 6, we got Rajon Rondo, now of the New Orleans Pelicans. At number 5, we got Rudy Gay, now of the San Antonio Spurs. Number 4, we got Chandre Livendala, our favorite player.
You're welcome.
On the Golden State Warriors, Chandre Livendala. Number 3, we got Derrick Rose, now of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Number 2, we got Sweet Lou Williams, now of the Los Angeles Clippers. And rounding out the 6th man of the year, Eric Gordon of the Houston Rockets.
What a surprise.
Shocker that 1-2 is Sweet Lou and Eric Gordon. Dave, you want to talk about Enes Kanter first, and rightfully so. Enes Kanter at number 7, and that is thanks to Ricky Whitmer, who put him at 3.
Strong position by Ricky. Put him at 3.
Dave and I had him at 11 and 12, respectively. And Ricky had him at 3.
Here's the thing. His role is going to be diminished in my mind. Mm-hmm. I mean, we watched. The thing is, like, Kanter hit his height when they were able to roll with 2 bigs in the playoffs and dominate. And then we watched what happened in the past year. Like, that was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, different team. They had Kevin Durant. They were all happy. OKC was in a great place. And, the stash brought a lot of toughness. I'm sorry, not toughness, scoring. And then we watched last year where his role completely, it wasn't as good. It just wasn't as good. He had better stats, but he wasn't as good. The team wasn't as good because they had to count on him more.
I mean, did he have better stats? I mean, he had more points.
He had more points.
But he had less rebounds.
Yeah. Well, that's because they went to the...
he had more assists.
They went to the defense of we're gonna box out and let our
Russ,
award-winning point guard, take over.
The MVP, triple double. I just feel like Enes Kanter. We've seen what we've seen out of Enes, and I feel like there's guys that can bring more to the table. He doesn't bring defense.
Nope.
He brings inside scoring.
Yeah.
When do you need inside scoring in the NBA?
It's a sexy stat.
Is it?
No, it's the opposite of a sexy stat. It's what you don't want in today's NBA.
He tries to stretch it, and he shoots 13.2%.
Yeah, well, I mean, he shoots like, what? He shot like 4 all year or something.
No, he shot more than 4. He shot 38.
Oh, God.
He was 5 of 38.
Woo!
Like, that's too much.
That's too much.
That's half. That's one every other game.
Yeah.
Like, that's too much.
Fair enough.
You gotta hold it back. Also, this guy punched a chair.
I mean, yeah, he's not the smartest guy.
He punched a chair and broke his hand, and then it was out for 9 games?
Yeah, I mean, the funniest thing about this is, like, after that first year in OKC where they had to criminally overpay for him to get him in town, like, it just, oh, man.
I also don't understand how a guy like this has a 23.7 per.
Because he was on one of the best starting lineups. One of the best.
He wasn't a starter.
I'm sorry, he was on one of the best teams in the NBA?
The OKC?
Do you look at the amount of minutes that Russ played? Russ was in that starting lineup all the damn time.
I'm saying, like, you're saying one of the best teams.
Yeah.
OKC was not one of the best teams.
Yeah, they were. Were they not in the playoffs? They
were in the playoffs, but, like, top 16 is not, like,
I mean, they were, like,
best
top
team.
12, but yeah.
That's not that good.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
No, you're right. His per is really high, though.
I just feel like...
Weirdly enough.
I don't know. I feel like Enes Kanter was a little bit overrated. We've seen what got out of Enes Kanter, and I don't think Paul George coming in is going to change it too much.
I think that kind of makes his role worse.
Yeah, so that was a guy that I'd be okay if he
I think he's going to fall out, but that's just me.
And let's now move to Rajon Rondo, because you want to make a special note about Rajon Rondo, pretty much that he's going to be starting.
Probably a starter. I mean, that's what we're all assuming is Drew's going to go to the 2 and Rondo at the 1, and that's going to be a really, really good starting lineup.
Which means Ian Clark going to be the 6th man.
Ian Clark could be a 6th man if this all comes to fruition.
What do you think about Ian Clark?
I mean, I'm playing GM and coach over here, but that's just the way I do it. I'd be cool with Ian Clark as 6th man. I mean, I'm excited to have Rondo on this team though, because you're pairing him back up with Boogie. So as a 6th man, him with Boogie again is disgusting. Him with Boogie and Anthony Davis and Drew.
Let me say this: would you want to stack that lineup? Rajon Rondo, Drew Holiday, Anthony Davis, and Boogie Collins. Or Boogie Cousins. Boogie Collins. What the fuck am I talking about?
Combining
it's
terrible player.
11:30. Boogie Cousins. Would you want that stacked 4 lineup? Or this Pelicans team is really deep. I mean, sorry, not really deep. They're very thin. Yep. So would you rather have maybe Drew Holiday and Anthony Davis in the starting lineup, and then your 2 is like, hey, we got Boogie and Rajon Rondo to back that up?
I mean, the problem is,
just go 2
like,
units?
Rondo worked really well with the Bulls last year, working with the younger unit. Through the middle of the season when he got a swift kick in the ass. Yeah. We saw him become the locker room guy. The problem is he also averaged double-digit assists when he worked with Boogie last. True. So you see that combo, and then you just add Anthony Davis staying next to him, Drew Holiday at the 2. Like, that lineup is disgusting. That's gonna, if they do that lineup, I think that rivals like Washington for best starting, plus minus in the NBA, to be honest with you. I think that is just amazing. But if you put him with that second unit, I'm still comfortable with it because he's a good distributor, and you still have guys like Etuan Moore, Ian Clark, who could be out there shooting the ball. So you're not really going to lose too much because you have Rondo with non-shooters. You still got shooters regardless of where you put them out there.
And statistically, Rajon Rondo had one of his best years with Boogie.
Yeah.
45% from the field, 36% from 3, 11 assists,
Rondo, underrated
6
three-point
rebounds.
shooter. Underrated three-point shooter.
Yeah. He doesn't take that many, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So he picks his spots. He was really bad to start his career, but he's come along.
Yeah.
Now let's move to Jamal Crawford. This man doesn't die. When
No.
he's 37, 38, he doesn't die.
He's going to be shooting until he's 40.
I remember he was a bull. I mean, when you look at Jamal Crawford now, number 10, still modestly ranked. He had a very efficient year last year. A guy that shouldn't be this efficient, this old. Now moving to Minnesota, does that help him? Does that hurt him? I mean, now he's playing with Andrew Wiggins, Karl-Anthony Towns, Taj Gibson,
Jimmy Butler?
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, that guy? That guy, Jimmy
one guy. Jamal Crawford, what is his spot on this team? And how does those guys help him?
I mean, he's the vet off the bench, and it's perfect for him because, look, you compare the role he has in Minnesota right now versus the role he had with the Clippers, and it's going to be fairly similar. He's going to be that spark off the bench. He will stretch the floor out. He can play with the 1s or the 2s. He's comfortable with either unit. He's a savvy veteran. So
not good defensively.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You're paying for his offense, though. Like, defensively, yeah, he's a borderline stop sign.
So where would you pair him, and how would you do it? Would you move Jimmy to the 3 and put Jamal Crawford at the 2? And when Andrew Wiggins comes out?
If you need to rest him, yeah, you have that flexibility to move Wiggins and Jimmy between the 2 and the 3. So you have the ability to make sure that one of them is on the court with Jamal at any time. Personally, I like Jimmy on the court with him much better than Andrew because you keep a ball handler there.
And you get defense.
Defense helps. You actually get defense because Wiggins and him on the court at the same time is just like, there's the hoop.
There's the hoop. Hey, we got Karl-Anthony Towns.
There's the hoop. So, no, I think he's primed for another year of like 40% three-point shooting. Just going to be a solid scorer for them. It's exactly what they need. So,
and it helps. It softens the blow of losing Zach LaVine.
Absolutely. So, absolutely. I mean, obviously different end of the athleticism scale, but solid scoring.
One thing. Maybe Jeff Teague a little tired. You put in Jamal Crawford, Andrew Wiggins, Taj Gibson, Jimmy Butler, Karl-Anthony Towns. How many points that team's scoring? Like
about
130?
130.
I mean, that's a lot of offense.
Yeah, that's gonna be a solid team. I mean, you're disrespecting Jeff Teague a little bit there too. I mean, it's no slouch.
No, but I'm saying scoring wise, I'd rather take Jamal Crawford over Jeff Teague.
Yeah, I mean, definitely his 3-point shot opens up the field.
I'm just saying scoring wise. Yep. I'm not saying Jeff Teague's the starter for the reason should be the starter. I'm not saying that. Anyways,
I like that lineup though.
Yeah, the other 4 you want to hit, the other 2, I'm sorry, you want to hit on. Tyler Johnson, T.J. Warren, back to back, 8 and 9 respectively. Tyler Johnson getting paid by the Miami Heat had a really nice per, 15.6, I believe.
Something like that. Yeah.
And T.J. Warren not too far behind, also having a 15.6 per. Looking at T.J. Warren and Tyler Johnson, similar players, both play the 3. Tyler Johnson can flip between the 3 and the 2 if need be. What do you like about Tyler Johnson, and why did you put him higher than T.J. Warren? Honestly,
Tyler Johnson, I had to put him higher because of his role on the Heat last year. Honestly, it was a crazy year for them, and I honestly expected him to. I didn't expect him to do this well. I'll be 100% honest. Like, I didn't have him pegged this high. Like, he got paid, and they put him to use.
Well, and they matched the offer from Brooklyn, and that's where we were like, "Why are you doing that? It's a bad idea."
Because he hadn't shown anything to me that made me believe that he was going to be worth that money, but he got off to a really hot start in his first couple of games, and then throughout the middle of the season, very consistent. As the season went on, again, solid player, and he kind of found his role over time because he's not that starter. He's not the guy who's going to go out there and be your starting guy. He's not the guy you put the team on his back, but at the same time, he's someone you're very happy with coming off the bench, giving you solid scoring and a little bit of defense. Nothing to write home about, but he's what you need. And that Miami team, like that, I did not expect him to fit. So I didn't expect the fit to be as well as it was.
Well, no one expected Miami to be that good.
That's the thing.
I think we got to give so much credit to not only Eric Spoelstra, but Pat Riley.
From the get-go.
I mean, Pat Riley, this guy's so old, but he knows the game so well.
Yep.
And, this is a guy that's been around forever, but he's still adapting to your favorite term, the new NBA.
Yep.
So I think Pat
Today's
Riley
NBA.
gets a ton of credit and should deserve a ton of credit. But the guy I want to talk about who's criminally underrated is my boy TJ Warren. Guy from North Carolina State that was unreal in college. Unreal. He was great in college. He took those Wolfpack pretty deep in the tournament, if I recall correctly. But TJ Warren also averaged 24 points per game in his sophomore year of college. Just no big there. But you look at TJ Warren, he brings defense, he brings scoring clearly, and he's on a really bad team. A really bad team.
Yeah.
But you average his minutes, and how would you like this as a starter? 16.7 points per game, 1.3 steals per game, 0.7 blocks per game, 1.3 assists per game, 6 rebounds per game. You bring in 77% from the line. You bring in 26% from three, but 49% from the field. Mm-hmm. That's a budget DeMar DeRozan.
Except he plays defense though. So that's the difference. Is like
he
has a solid mid range. And that's his values. He's a solid mid-range, but that defense is really what does it for him. And the question there is, we have him as six-man. He did start 59 games last year. So with his role changing because of the youth that they are going for in Phoenix, he becomes the veteran at 24.
He's the old man.
What? No, he's gotten better every single year. There's no reason he can't continue to unless it's just because his minutes are being chopped away by these younger guys. So I think that, honestly, he's probably, I hate to say this, he's probably a guy who has value enough that he will get traded for something by the end of this year.
You know where he should go?
Cleveland, yes.
Why not?
Because you need to pair him and Jay Crowder. Because both of those.
You're right. But Jay can shoot threes.
No, I'm saying both of those coming off the bench would be phenomenal. Try to defend
Get rid of Shump.
Get rid of Shump for TJ Warren. Somehow make it work.
Make it work, LeBron.
Then you got some defense that can pair up against Washington. At least attempt to hold its own and not go negative 32 in 3 minutes.
Wait. Put TJ Warren on the Wizards.
Ugh, no.
That'd be fun.
Let's not even go there.
That'd be fun. Bradley Beal's outside shooting. John Wall's creative playmaking. And boom. Right there, you got TJ Warren coming off the bench. I love it. Otto Porter Jr. Who? Anyways. I just feel like TJ Warren, if he was on a better team, he'd get so much more credit.
He likely will be on a better team very soon. So at least you have that solace to take away.
And a guy who's on a better team, and let's move into the top 5, the good players. The top 5.
The very good players.
Former starter, Rudy Gay. I feel like he's severely underrated. This is the guy that I had 2. You had at 4, and Ricky had at 8. Rudy Gay should be higher than 5, right?
I feel like maybe a little bit. The problem is there's a very easy argument between these top 5. And like you said, it's Rudy Gay into Chandra Iguodala, Derrick Rose, Lou Will, Eric Gordon. You have 2 guys who competed for 6th Man of the Year who were 1 and 2 in the voting at the end of last year.
Yeah, Lou Williams and Eric Gordon.
Yep. You have Derrick Rose, who was a former starter,
former MVP.
Let's
not forget that.
Yeah, I'd say. And he came off one of his best years in a while. Now that he was actually healthy, until he got injured again. So the expectations are extremely high there, especially with him being a starter projected because of IT's injury.
And all of China loves him.
And he's still a great player, and I will defend him because people just shit on him for no reason. He had a great year in New York. Mm-hmm. And Chandra Iguodala, we're getting a little cheaty here with the 2-man team. But
it's really Andre.
It's Andre, yeah. And again, his impact on that team, you just watch it in crunch time. He may not have it all regular season, but guess what? It's the NBA. They're the freaking Warriors. The playoffs happen, and he just turns it on.
This is a guy that has not averaged double-digit points since, that was Denver in 2012, 2013. But since coming over to Golden State, he has only improved his efficiency.
Yep.
His was at 52.8% last year. What? Was at 36.2% from 3. What? He was unreal. It finally hit 70%, first time from the free throw line since 2009. Andre Iguodala is getting better with age. It helps being on the best team ever.
Yeah.
But still, he's a guy that can facilitate the ball. He's a guy that can play great defense. He's a guy that can shoot. He's a guy that's efficient. And then, like you said, you bring playoff time Andre Iguodala back, and he's just even better.
Yeah, his impact on that court goes beyond that stat line.
So the thing is that I think Andre Iguodala on a different team is under Rudy Gay, is under Tyler Johnson, is under TJ Warren.
I'd completely agree.
The fit is so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
However, the guy I want to talk about is Rudy Gay, and then we'll move up the ladder.
Yeah.
Rudy Gay, now on the Spurs, most likely might not be the sixth man. You were talking shift Kawhi to the 4, put Rudy Gay in at the 3, shift LMA to the 5, even though LMA isn't that.
The problem is
he
doesn't like to play the 5 either. The problem is Paul Gasol in that starting lineup. Where how long can he stay there? Yes, he's got finesse game. Yes, he by nature is tall, so he can block shots.
He's got soft hands.
He's got a great shot. But Rudy Gay with that offense and one of the best clutch shooters in the last decade. Like the only problem is the Rudy Gay paradox, where he doesn't win games.
But the thing is,
every team has gotten better after trading him.
I don't understand how a guy has a 17.9 per.
Yep.
And a 1.8 win share.
That's the thing.
That's ridiculous.
He scores points, but apparently his team is better without him.
It's
in every
stupid.
case in his career. So,
and I mean, this is a guy that is a career 18.4 scorer.
Yep.
I mean, throughout his career, he's been averaging 18 points. He's a guy that shoots 45% from the field. He had one of his best 3-point shooting seasons of the year since 2010, 2011, shooting 37. Yes, he only played 30 games, but it's something where now shifting to a 6-man role on a great team.
Yep.
Maybe this is finally the chance, because he's never been on a great team. Memphis wasn't that great when they had him. Toronto wasn't that great when they had him. Sacramento. Do I need to say more?
but they've all gotten better since he left.
That's true, but the thing is that this is San Antonio.
I know. And that's the thing is, do you think that his selfish play will fit in San Antonio? Do you feel like his game... See, my concern is like he's going to fall in the Marcus Aldridge category of, I'm great when I'm the guy putting the ball on the hoop, but when my role is diminished, what can we expect out of you? How are you going to turn around when you're now a cog in the system versus the star?
I feel like that had to come up, though, when you're negotiating contracts.
It absolutely had to. And you know what you're getting into when you go to the Spurs, but
and
I have to ask still.
But how many guys have we seen, and outside of LaMarcus Aldridge, not fit with the Spurs? I mean, they move on pretty quick. And they don't bring in guys without fitting.
The problem is, they are very careful when they bring guys in. They haven't missed a lot, which definitely helps out with their team's consistency, why they're such a phenomenal franchise. Really, the only thing for me is just that the LaMarcus Aldridge pickup was the last one where it was getting somebody great who individually stuffed stat lines, who was the guy on his team, came over here. We saw how he didn't fit the system, learned to play as a member of the system, was solid. But then when Kawhi was out, we watched that deficiency because the system wasn't built around him. He was completely exposed. Yeah. The Spurs system was exposed.
Well, now you see
Rudy Gay.
But you see, say Kawhi's off the court.
Yeah.
Then you plug Rudy Gay in, and you're not seeing.
Are you letting Rudy Gay go ISO though? No. That's the problem. Like you still have the used bar of soap on that bench. Yeah. You still have. I just love saying that. I'm sorry.
You still got Manny.
He's never gonna retire. No. Never. That's the problem is I just don't know if he's going to be able to fit on this team and accept that role, because I could see him becoming a, probably down to like a 14 point per game score.
Yeah.
And just there.
If he accepts the role, though, I feel like he can flourish. And I feel like he could put up, 16 to 17.
Is strong.
I don't know. I just feel like he's got the talent, he's got the skill, and if he buys in at his age, I feel like he could flourish. Because maybe not even maybe he takes a dip scoring wise, but maybe he's able to finally be the guy that's like, hey, I'm helping win shares. I'm helping I'm helping your team.
But he hasn't. He doesn't help his team.
No, I know, but he's never been on a good team. He's never had the incentive to be good. He's never had the incentive like this with the Spurs.
But and I'll ask the final question then. Does he put them over the top? Because all they're trying to do is compete against the Warriors.
No.
Then
no, he doesn't help that, but he might help them be more competitive.
Does it help them get closer?
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt, it helps them get closer. But that's like, hey, it's 31-4. Now we're 31-5. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I'm just throwing out a random score. But say you're down 10 runs.
That's a long way from the Kawhi is going to beat the Warriors single-handedly.
Yeah, but it's different.
That's different. That almost happened game one.
Oh, game one, but we didn't know what's going to happen the next 3 games. So, I mean, the one thing, though, is it's like you're down 10 in a baseball game, you hit a home run, and you're like, oh, hey, we're down 9.
Yeah.
Like, cool. We have 3 innings left. Let's see if we can score 9 runs on a major league team. I don't know. I think Rudy Gay, though, does help, and I think that Rudy Gay can flourish in San Antonio. We obviously talked about Chandra Livingdala. I mean, we don't need to talk about these guys anymore. They fit the role. They're unbelievable. They're fantastic. But let's go to your boy, Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose, I'm not too high on, even though I had him 3. Ricky, surprisingly, had him the lowest at 6.
Yeah, I am appalled by Ricky. I want to check your Chicago fan card there.
Your card.
And that seems a little low.
You had Derrick Rose at 1.
Yeah.
Don't think that's too high?
I mean, the
Is
fact
this a
that
guy that you can't trust health-wise?
You can't trust health-wise.
Doesn't have a 3-point shot.
Doesn't have a 3-point shot.
What's his role?
He's a scorer. He's exactly he's like bizarre Lou Will.
Does that fit on the Cavs,
only
though?
shoots from the outside. Derrick Rose only shoots from the inside.
Does that work on the Cavs, though?
I think it does because
How?
it gives them another look. As much shit as you want to give him, he's still a great ball handler. He's still a solid passer when he chooses to be a passer.
Yeah, hasn't done that in a long time.
Who's he gonna pass to in New York? I'm sorry.
Just saying, he hasn't done that in a long time. Even when he was in Chicago, hasn't done that in a long time.
Look, I'm just saying.
Hasn't had over 6 assists since 2013, 2014.
Has an average 6 assists since 2013, 2014.
That's true.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He has had 6 assists in a game.
Yes, that is very true. I'm not saying that.
But no, I mean, look, he's a good scorer. He is still athletic. As many knee injuries has taken him down, he's still athletic. He still has it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, like, I don't want to count him out just because he's in his later 20s now. Like, he's 28, going to be 29 by, mid-season. So, like, he's not done with his prime even yet. And if he can come back healthy from this last injury, he's expected to start until Isaiah Thomas becomes healthy and it becomes available. So, honestly, I just think the role is right. Being with the right guys and the right system is going to benefit him more than anything else. Being in a winning group of guys playing under LeBron, they had that rivalry going when Chicago was supposed to be here, right below, Cleveland and LeBron, and then the Heat, and everything happened, obviously. But like, I think that the system is the best thing for him because being around the right guys matters the most.
How do you think they'll use him? Is what I'm saying. Like when he's in the starting lineup, when he's playing
he's a
with
second ball
LeBron
handler.
James.
I think he just comes in and becomes a second ball handler. The problem is like Kyrie has a much better handle than he did than
way
he does. Yeah,
And
that's
a
what I'm
better
saying.
shooter.
And a better outside shooter. The fact that Kyrie and him were comparable when it comes to driving through the lane. Obviously, Kyrie, I give the slight edge to because obviously his youth, his speed
And
is
he doesn't
still
have the injuries.
slightly better, and the lack
Yeah.
of injuries. But like, he's budget Kyrie. I mean, he just doesn't take the outside shot.
Really?
I mean,
budget Kyrie?
there's a better comparison, but like that's how they're going to use him.
Okay.
In my mind, that's how they're going to use him in
And
Cleveland.
then once he switches over when IT's healthy, how effective will he be? Will he take
Coming
a
off the
dramatic
bench,
cut?
I think he'll be solid coming off the bench because against second unit teams, oh my God, Derrick Rose should be able to feast on them. I mean, offensively, he'll be fine.
Just wondering. All right, now
I expect very high things from him.
all right, let's move. Obviously, as you're putting him as the number 1 6 man going into 2017, 2018.
Bring
It's
it.
crazy.
Bring it.
Let's move on now to Sweet Lou Williams. You had him at 3. I had him at 5, and Ricky had him at number 1. Cannot defend Ricky Widmer because he is not here. However, you had him higher than I did. So, Sweet Lou. Now moving to the Clippers. I thought he's going to take a little bit of a dip because this Clippers team, they're definitely going to be worse with Chris Paul. However, you look at what he did on the Lakers, and that was a bad team last year. He did really well on the Lakers. Didn't thrive as much as we thought he would on Houston. But do you think being on a worse team helps a guy like Lou Wills?
I mean, I don't think it really hurts him at all. And that's the thing is, you're on a worse team, you're going to be behind more games, you're going to allow more chucks.
True.
That's the Lou Williams formula right there. Like, we watched what he did for the Lakers, we watched what he's done throughout his entire career, and he can shoot very well, period. Like, he will just be your scorer. There's not much else he contributes. His shot selection at times is a little annoying, but he makes more than he misses, which is why he's so valuable. Honestly, for me, it's hard to put him at 1, but it's also like hard. It's fit for me is why I had him as high as I did. Like, I don't want to put him at 1. I want to put him very close to the top, though. This Clippers team, somebody's got to be the outside shooter who's dominant. Like, I'm putting a lot of money on Milos being an amazing passer, amazing facilitator, and Blake Griffin taking over games. So he's going to come in and pretend to be, JJ Redick or Jamal Crawford, and just stand behind the 3-point line and jack shots.
I mean, he clearly fits the role that Jamal left. I mean, that's pretty clear what he's filling there.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to be able to do fine. I just had him at 5 just because the Clippers are a bad team. So I just feel like,
Are they really a bad team, though? I mean, they still have Blake, DeAndre, Milos,
They're taking a step
Pat
back.
Bev.
They're taking a step back. They're not going to be as good as they were last year. Let me put it that way. They're not.
I don't know.
Bad team. They're losing Chris Paul. I don't want to go
I
on another
agree,
fucking
but
Chris Paul rant. Okay.
I was trying to bait to see if you could drop another Chris Paul stat line for
Pat
3 minutes.
Bev plus Milos does not equal Chris Paul. It's the reason why they got fucking Chris Paul in Houston and didn't keep Pat Bev.
Yeah.
Chris Paul is not the best, but he is a top 3-point guard in the NBA and has been for about 10 years now.
He's
get
pretty
the
good.
fuck out of here.
He's a pretty good guy.
He's pretty good. I don't know. I just feel like they're going to take a little bit of a dip. But I just feel like, Chandra Davidson obviously bring more credit to their team. They fit a role. They're playing on the best team in the NBA, and they wouldn't be the best team in the NBA, or might not be the best team in the NBA without those two guys. Derrick Rose, if he's able to stay healthy, he's going to fit a really nice role and really help the Cavs.
He could be one of the most impactful players because this Cavs team needs something to put them over the top.
And saying Isaiah Thomas and Derrick Rose are your 2-point guards, that sounds fucking stupid how good that is.
Right?
Rudy Gay, I feel like he's really going to be able to thrive in San Antonio.
Yep.
And the guy I missed the mark with last year that we're going to get to now, Eric Gordon.
Did you miss the mark?
I do not think I had him that high last year, and man, was I wrong.
I had him at 3. You had him at...
No,
we all had him top 3.
Mike had him at 2.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I wasn't here for 6-man last year.
It's true.
But I don't think I would have him that high. And it's something with Eric Gordon. I missed the mark. Eric Gordon was unreal last year.
Yeah.
I mean,
The signs were there.
Can Eric Gordon get them closer to the Warriors? I mean, like, what is Eric Gordon bringing to this team that he's so high?
He's the perfect fit. But there's nothing more you want
he's
from...
a perfect fit, but with now CP3 having the perfect fit there,
Yep.
is it going to help them get over the Warriors or even the Spurs?
I think CP3's impact to him is very minimal. I think the game plan's still the same. I think his role is still very much the same. I mean, the only difference is he's not going to be counted on to start any games probably this year because, well, unless injury happens to either he or Harden, it's just not going to happen. So, again, he just brings excellent shooting across the board. It doesn't matter where he's at on the court. I'm not concerned about it. Honestly, for him, I just think he's literally the perfect fit in the perfect system. It's like all the stars lined up for Eric Gordon, that he ended up on this Houston team under this offense, and it works for them so well. Do I think they can beat the Warriors? Probably not, unless they get Hoodie Mello.
Hoodie Mello.
Hoodie Mello puts them over the top.
Could you imagine?
I know,
Hoodie
but
Mello?
that's probably going to cost them like Eric Gordon.
If it doesn't matter if they get Eric Gordon.
I mean,
it doesn't matter if Eric Gordon's around. I don't know. It's interesting. Any guys that you think are going to be able to fall out of this or rise up in this? Or do you think that our top 10 is pretty much going to look similar to the top 10 next year?
I'd be surprised if Rondo is there next year just because I think he's the starter. Cantor, I think, is overrated. I think he's going to drop out. Well, I think probably Jamal Crawford. Eventually, he's got to start shooting worse.
Eventually.
I mean, there's just a rule.
Guess where Jamal Crawford was last year? 10.
Yeah.
He's 10 this year. And another thing I want to throw out, Joel Embiid was 14 last year. So there you go, Dave. I don't know what you want to say with that, what you want to do with that. What I'm going to say is goodbye. Thank you so much for listening to the Fast Break Podcast. If you're listening on Block Talk Radio, thank you so much for checking it out. If you watch the whole podcast on YouTube, thank you so much. You guys rock. Also, don't forget to check out patreon.com/mostvaluable-podcast. Ricky will be back next week. I won't be back next week. I'm going to be at Rye-Fest. So it will be fun. You guys are doing coaches. You guys will do a great job, as you usually do. But for Dave Oster, for Ricky Widmer, who is not here, I'm Sean Anderson, and we'll see you guys next time.